Hi. Okay, today I'm going to tell you all about kitchen utensils. Now, these are almost all of the utensils I use when cooking, and I think there's one missing, and that is a garlic press. Which is something you use to crush garlic. And I don't have one right now because mine broke last week. So I have to buy a new one. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That thing that you use to crush garlic is a garlic press. Okay, so aside from the garlic press, let's go through all of these things here. So I'm going to go from my left to my right, and I'll start here. This is a strainer. Okay, this is a strainer, and this is not something that you will find very common in North America or in Europe maybe, but in Japan it's very common. It is a rice washer. So you put your rice in here. I don't know, maybe if you eat a lot of rice, maybe you can find these in other countries. But anyway, in Asia, or at least in Japan, I don't know about other countries because I never bought one in another Asian country. But anyway, in Japan, this is a rice washer. You put the rice in there and you stir the water, and then there's holes in the bottom and here to pour the water out. So that's a rice washer. This is a colander. Okay, now what's the difference between a colander and a strainer? Basically the size of the holes and what you use it for. So I use this mainly for pasta or for washing salad or lettuce and vegetables. And for this, I might use it, the holes are a little smaller, and I would use this maybe for straining sauces or juices, something like that. Another strainer, actually right here, this is a finer mesh. Okay, the mesh on this strainer is, the mesh on this strainer is even finer, and I use this for tea, basically. I put tea leaves. I don't use tea bags very much here, so tea leaves and then pour the water, and that strains the tea. Okay, next, this is a masher. Usually used for mashing potatoes, but you can mash anything with this, I suppose. If I remember when I was a child, my mother made mashed carrots. I didn't like it very much, but she loved it. So now here I'm going to introduce three things to you. These are all the same name. Okay, this is a spatula, this is a spatula, and this is a spatula. Now this might be more common in Japan because we use this for rice. You can see there's little bumps on the surface, and this helps the rice to come off the spatula, not stick to it so easily. Although I find that the rice sticks to it anyway, so I don't know how useful that is. This is a spatula, and so is this. Okay, now this is a rubber spatula, and this is what we just call a spatula. Of course, they're both made of, I don't know, this was plastic of some sort, and this of course has the rubber. Now one thing is that recently some people are calling this a flipper or a turner because you're turning eggs with it. This is used basically to scrape the bowl out after you mix a cake or cookie batter, and some people call this a bowl scraper. But they're both spatulas, and you know which one by the context. If you're baking a cake, you'll need this one. If you're cooking eggs, you're going to need this one. So they're both spatulas, but recently some people call this one a turner and this one a scraper or a bowl scraper. And now recently they're made of silicone, so it's not a rubber spatula, maybe it's a silicone spatula. This is a spaghetti server, okay? It's used to grab the spaghetti and serve it onto your plate. This is a ladle. You use this for soup and sauces. And you ladle the soup into your bowl or the sauce into your bowl. This here, it looks very similar, but you can see that there are holes, and so we call this a slotted spoon, because basically these are slots. Although the word slot normally is something that, you know, like a slot on a mailbox. That's it's usually an opening that we put things into, like mail, for example. This is not really used to put things in, of course, but even so, it's called a slotted spoon. This is called a skimmer. Okay, it's all metal, and I would use this to take out French fries or dumplings from hot oil. I would use this basically for hot oil. I would use this one if I want to take out big chunks of things from hot soup, maybe, because it's plastic. It will melt in oil, maybe. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is a skimmer. And this is it's a whisk, and you use this, of course, to whisk things. Okay, you can whisk eggs, or you can whisk whatever, any mixture. I use this to make to whisk soup. I use this to mix up soup and stuff. Make sure that it gets nicely mixed. This is a meat fork. Okay, you would use this for maybe cooking steak, although you're not supposed to poke steak because the blood will come out and all the juices will come out. So it's better to use these, which these are tongs. Okay, so if you're cooking steak, it's better to flip the steak using tongs than to use this. Now all of this, these four things here, these are all knives, okay? And they're different types of knives. This is a bread knife, so you use it for bread. It has a very sharp, and this edge, you see how it's all bumpy? That's called a serrated edge, okay? So it's a serrated knife, and it's used for bread, so it's a bread knife. This is a special type of knife. We use it for chopping, you know, maybe cutting through bones sometimes. And this is called a cleaver. Cleaver. Okay, let me move some things here. This is just your typical chef's knife. Okay, nothing very special about it. I don't actually often use this one. I prefer to use this one. Basically it's a Japanese design. It's a Japanese style, and it's called a santoku. You know, I'm sure not everybody knows the name of that. It's called a santoku knife, and like I said, some people prefer a chef's knife, some people prefer this knife. It depends what you're cutting. I use this knife quite a lot. This one, not so much. Anyway, that's a santoku, and that's just your typical chef's knife. This is a kitchen scale. It's a scale. You know, you use this to weigh things. If I turn it on, you can see that it sets to 0 grams. I put this on it, and these shears are 99 grams. So I learned something new today. Okay, we have 4 items left. This is used to sift flour. So you put flour in here, you move this, and then the flour comes through the bottom. You see the mesh here? Sorry, the mesh, there it is. You see the mesh there. So if your flour has lumps, they don't go through, and you end up with a nice fine texture for your flour. This is a grater, okay? So we have 4 sides. This is a slicer. This I use for cheese, like cheddar cheese or mozzarella cheese. And here we have 2 different, it's the same thing, but different sizes. So I use these for grating Parmesan cheese. Or in Japan, sometimes we grate daikon, which is basically a type of Japanese horseradish or Japanese radish. And we grate that sometimes. You can also use this to grate, what's the word? I know the Japanese word. Shoga. Ginger, that's it, ginger. So, why did the Japanese word come to me faster than the English word? So you can grate ginger using this as well. Now this is also another grater, okay? Or, you know what? Personally, I think this is a grater and this is a shredder. But most people will call both of them graters, okay? This is a grater, this is a grater, but I like to use the word shredder for this and grate for this because really it's more accurate. When you grate something, this is what you're rubbing it against a rough surface. That's to grate something like this. Here, pieces of cheese, actually long strips of cheese come out. And so this is actually shredding cheese. And if you've ever used a paper shredder, you'll see that when you use a paper shredder, you put paper in there and you have long strips, long thin strips of paper. And so it's very similar. That's a shredder. So personally, this is a shredder, I think, and this is a grater, okay, a grater. So this also is a shredder, okay, but it's a circular shredder, and the way it works is you put your piece of cheese in here, and it allows you to do this, and the cheese falls out the other end. So it's a little bit easier to do this at the table, you know, right on the salad. For example, if you want some Parmesan cheese, put the piece in here and then just do this. And it's a little easier than this. Here, when I do this, you know, cheese kind of flies everywhere. So this one is nice, looks, you know, looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more elegant. And this, finally, is the cutting board, okay? That's the cutting board. Of course, you use this to cut stuff with, and it protects your table so you don't cut on the table, and it keeps your mess in one place. So that's it. These are all the utensils except for the garlic press. These are all the utensils that I use in my kitchen. I hope that you have learned something new today. I hope that you have learned some new names from watching this video. And if you liked it, please click the like button and subscribe, because more are coming. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.